We're going to go up to Fenway Park in Boston right now, be joined by the Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. And Jim, Jeremy Guthrie starts today for the Orioles. His record at Fenway, though, is 0-4. Do you adjust pitching in Fenway like when you pitch, or does Guthrie adjust differently than he would in any other park?
Well, I think a couple of things you have to adjust to. Number one, this is one of the best offenses in baseballs. And the other thing, I mean, it's a good day to pitch here because I think one of the first things you do, Tom, when you get to Fenway Park, you run up the runway and see which way the wind's blowing, and it seems to be blowing straight in. So it doesn't mean with their kind of offense that means you're not, going to pitch well. But I think the one thing you have to do here is, number one, you have to stay away from the big inning. We always talk about doing that. I mean, obviously, one of the things that you want to do is minimize damage. Again, they have a very explosive lineup. They're scoring runs in September. They're just not pitching very well, over 5 runs a game. And the other thing is you have to pitch to both sides of the plate. And when Jeremy is on his game and he's pitched well, I think, 4 out of the last 5 starts, he's able to do that. The one thing that's really misleading this year, he has yet to win against the Red Sox. In fact, the Orioles have only won 3 out of 11 games. But again, his numbers, he's only given up 2 runs in 2 starts. So if you're the Orioles, I would be very comfortable with Guthrie. He's closing in on 200 innings now for the 3rd straight year. I'd be very comfortable with him on the mound. And, when you look at Kyle Weiland, here's a kid that's really struggled against the Orioles. So you have one guy that you can trust in Guthrie, and you have a rookie you're throwing out there if you're the Red Sox, and you're hoping.
Jimmy, you were talking about Guthrie pitching so well the last couple of games, and he is one guy in that starting rotation, I think, that'll pitch these Red Sox inside today. Don't you think that's one of the keys to beating them here today?
Yeah, I think today, though, with the wind blowing in, I mean, there's a lot of room. We always talk about the Green Monster. I mean, it's a 37-foot wall that seems like it's right behind shortstop because the illusion is that it's always there, and it is because it's easy. It's certainly easy to hit. I think the other part of it is, Demper, that you do have some room in right field. So when you get Ellsbury, when you get Gonzalez, when you get Ortiz, all of those guys are having good years hitting the ball away. So you do have to pitch inside. And, the one thing that Jeremy Guthrie, he's more comfortable away to lefties, and that kind of plays into the Red Sox hands. So we'll see if he can establish both sides of his game. And, he seems like a little different pitcher since Curt Schilling visited the Orioles when they were in New York. And Jeremy looked at Curt Schilling and said, I really sometimes don't know what I'm doing out there. And Curt said, well, that's your problem. Maybe you need to figure it out. And I think they did a few mechanical things. The slider's been better. So hopefully, again, in a game that the Red Sox have to win, the Orioles can deter them from doing that. And the gigantic step forward for them today is going to be the Orioles pitch well. And Guthrie certainly gives them an opportunity to do that.
Well, it's the beginning of a long day for you, Jim. You got 2 to do. Day-night doubleheader.
Not if they win, Tom. It'll be a very short day if they play as well as they have in the month of September. They got a chance. They don't have a winning month. They have a chance at 8-9 against the best teams in the American League East to actually have a winning month. So it'll be exciting today.